The studio lights blazed down on the set of Jimmy Kimmel Live, where the audience buzzed with anticipation for the night's guest, Mark Wahlberg, promoting his latest action flick. Jimmy, ever the charismatic host, kicked off the interview with his signature blend of humor and probing questions, starting light by asking about Mark's rigorous workout routine and family life. Mark, dressed in a sharp suit, smiled politely at first, sharing anecdotes about his early morning gym sessions and devotion to his kids. But as the conversation shifted, Jimmy veered into more personal territory, joking about Mark's past as a rapper in the Funky Bunch, complete with clips of old music videos playing on the screen behind them. The crowd laughed, but Mark's expression tightened slightly, his jaw clenching as he tried to steer back to his new movie. Jimmy, sensing a bit of tension, doubled down with a quip about Mark's transformation from bad boy to Hollywood darling, implying it was all an act. Mark chuckled awkwardly, but his eyes flashed with irritation. The host then brought up a recent tabloid rumor about Mark's alleged feud with another actor, pressing for details in a way that felt invasive. Mark deflected initially, saying he doesn't pay attention to gossip, but Jimmy persisted, reading a supposed quote from the other star that painted Mark in a negative light. The audience oohed and awed, hanging on every word. Mark leaned forward, his voice dropping an octave as he asked Jimmy if he believed everything he read online. Jimmy laughed it off, but Mark wasn't having it, countering with a pointed remark about late-night hosts stirring drama for ratings. The exchange heated up quickly, with Jimmy trying to lighten the mood by calling Mark too serious, which only fueled the fire. Mark shot back, accusing Jimmy of disrespecting his privacy and turning the interview into a circus. The band played a tense riff in the background as the two men stared each other down, the camera zooming in on their faces. Producers in the control room scrambled, whispering about cutting to commercial, but the live feed kept rolling. Mark's Boston accent thickened with emotion as he recounted how hard he's worked to leave his past behind, emphasizing his faith and philanthropy. Jimmy interjected with another joke, this time about Mark's Calvin Klein modeling days, complete with a photo flashing up. That was the breaking point. Mark stood up abruptly, ripping off his microphone and tossing it on the couch. "I'm done with this bullshit," he barked, his voice echoing through the studio. The audience gasped collectively, some cheering, others murmuring in shock. Jimmy, caught off guard, tried to salvage the situation with a half-hearted apology, but Mark was already striding off the set, shoulder-checking a stagehand on his way out. Security hovered nearby, unsure whether to intervene. Back on camera, Jimmy forced a smile, saying, "Well, folks, that was unexpected. We'll be right back after this." The commercial break hit, and the internet exploded with clips and reactions within minutes. Social media lit up with hashtags like #Wahlberg Walkout and #Kimmel Clash, fans debating who was in the right. Mark's publicist released a statement shortly after, claiming the actor felt ambushed by the line of questioning. Jimmy, on the other hand, addressed it in his monologue the next night, poking fun at himself while extending an olive branch. But the damage was done. The altercation became fodder for talk shows and podcasts for weeks. Analysts speculated on the impact to both careers, with some saying it humanized Mark, showing his no-nonsense side, while others criticized Jimmy for pushing too far. Behind the scenes, rumors swirled about prior tension between the two, perhaps stemming from a shared Hollywood circle. Mark, known for his tough guy roles in films like The Departed and Transformers, had always projected an image of resilience, but this outburst revealed a vulnerability. Jimmy, the king of late night, prided himself on edgy interviews, but this one crossed a line. The video of the moment went viral, amassing millions of views, with edits set to dramatic music circulating on TikTok and YouTube. Comment sections filled with opinions, from supporters praising Mark for standing up to Hollywood elitism to those calling him overly sensitive. The entertainment industry buzzed, with other celebrities weighing in subtly through social media likes and shares. In the end, the heated altercation not only boosted ratings for the show but also reignited interest in Mark's upcoming projects. It was a reminder that even in the polished world of late-night TV, real emotions can erupt unexpectedly, turning a promotional spot into a memorable spectacle. As the dust settled from Mark Wahlberg's dramatic exit from Jimmy Kimmel Live, the backstory began to unfold through leaked insider accounts and anonymous sources. It turned out the tension had been brewing long before the cameras rolled. Mark arrived at the studio in a good mood, ready to discuss his new film, but during the pre-interview chat, Jimmy's team allegedly pushed for controversial topics to spice up the segment. Mark's representatives had reportedly requested certain subjects be off limits, like his criminal past from the 80s, but Jimmy, known for his improvisational style, couldn't resist dipping into it. The interview started smoothly enough, with banter about Mark's co-stars and on-set stories, but Jimmy's sly comments about Mark's tough guy persona hinted at deeper jabs. Mark tried to laugh it off, sharing a story about training for his role, but Jimmy interrupted with a question about his faith, mocking it lightly by comparing it to a superhero origin story. The audience tittered, but Mark's face hardened, his Catholic beliefs being a core part of his identity. He responded firmly, explaining how his religion grounded him, but Jimmy pivoted to politics, asking about Mark's views on current events in a way that felt loaded. Mark, not one to shy from opinions, answered candidly, but Jimmy countered with a sarcastic remark that implied hypocrisy. That's when the eruption truly began. Mark raised his voice, pointing a finger at Jimmy and saying, "You sit here night after night, making fun of people who actually stand for something. What do you stand for besides ratings?" The host tried to deflect with humor, but Mark wasn't backing down, recounting how media personalities like Jimmy contribute to division. The exchange escalated, with both men talking over each other, the audience shifting uncomfortably in their seats. Sidekick Guillermo attempted to interject with a comedic bit, but it fell flat amid the intensity. Mark then brought up Jimmy's own controversies, like his blackface sketches from the past, turning the tables and accusing him of double standards. Jimmy's smile faded, and he shot back, defending his growth and changes. The verbal sparring reached a peak when Mark stood, declaring the interview over and storming off amid applause from some audience members. In the aftermath, clips dissected every micro-expression, with body language experts on morning shows analyzing the build-up. Mark's fans rallied online, creating memes of him as a hero against woke Hollywood, while Jimmy's supporters called it an overreaction. The show's ratings spiked, proving controversy sells, but at what cost? Mark skipped subsequent press appearances, focusing on family, while Jimmy addressed the incident lightheartedly in a follow-up episode, inviting Mark back jokingly. Industry insiders whispered about potential lawsuits or blacklisting, but publicly, both camps downplayed it. The event sparked broader discussions on celebrity interviews, with calls for more respectful boundaries. Podcasts dedicated episodes to breaking it down, interviewing former guests who shared similar experiences. Mark's outburst was seen by some as a cathartic moment, echoing frustrations many feel with invasive media. Jimmy, ever the professional, bounced back, but the scar remained. The viral nature of the clip ensured it lived on, remixed and referenced in pop culture. Ultimately, this heated altercation highlighted the fragile line between entertainment and exploitation in late-night TV, leaving viewers to ponder the authenticity behind the glamour. Delving deeper into the fallout from Mark Wahlberg's eruption on Jimmy Kimmel's show, the media frenzy that followed was nothing short of spectacular. Tabloids splashed headlines like, "Wahlberg's wrath," "Inside the Kimmel clash," while entertainment news outlets ran round-the-clock coverage. Experts weighed in on everything from Mark's temper to Jimmy's interviewing tactics, with psychologists suggesting the outburst stemmed from built-up stress in Mark's demanding career. Fans flooded social media with support, trending #StandWithMark, sharing stories of how his films inspired them. Critics, however, labeled it unprofessional, arguing celebrities should handle pressure gracefully. Jimmy's team issued a statement expressing regret if any offense was caused, emphasizing the show's intent for fun banter. Mark remained silent initially, letting his actions speak, but later posted a cryptic Instagram story about integrity. The video script of the incident was analyzed frame by frame, revealing subtle cues like Mark's clenched fists early on. Late-night rivals like Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Fallon referenced it in their monologues, with Colbert quipping about needing hazard pay for interviews. The altercation even made its way to Saturday Night Live, where a skit parodied the moment hilariously. Behind closed doors, Hollywood agents scrambled, with Mark's projects unaffected but perhaps gaining edgier appeal. Jimmy faced backlash from conservative circles, accusing him of liberal bias in his jabs. The event reignited debates on faith in entertainment, as Mark's defense of his beliefs resonated with many. Online forums dissected the timeline, from the initial joke at 2:45 into the segment to the walkout at 7:12. View counts on the official clip surpassed 50 million, boosting ad revenue for the network. Celebrities like Dwayne Johnson and Tom Hanks offered subtle support via likes, while others stayed neutral. The heated exchange prompted Jimmy to reflect in an interview, admitting he might have pushed too far. Mark, in a subsequent podcast appearance, elaborated on feeling disrespected, stressing the importance of mutual respect. The incident became a case study in PR classes, teaching how to navigate viral moments. Merchandise popped up, from t-shirts with, "I'm done," quotes to mugs mocking the clash. The audience present that night shared eyewitness accounts, describing the electric atmosphere. Producers revealed off-air attempts to calm Mark, but he was adamant about leaving. The show's band leader, Cleto, later joked about the awkward silence post-exit. In the broader context, this altercation underscored shifting dynamics in media, where guests demand more control. It also humanized both men. Mark is passionate, Jimmy is fallible. As weeks passed, the story evolved, with rumors of a reconciliation dinner. Whether true or not, it kept the buzz alive. The eruption not only entertained but provoked thought on celebrity culture's pressures. In the end, it was a win for content creators, spawning countless reaction videos and analyses, ensuring the legacy of that fateful night endured in the annals of TV history. 2,489 characters. Exploring the cultural ripple effects of Mark Wahlberg's heated altercation with Jimmy Kimmel, it's clear the incident transcended a mere TV mishap to become a symbol of broader societal tensions. Commentators drew parallels to past celebrity outbursts, like Tom Cruise's couch jumping on Oprah or Kanye West's interruptions, noting how social media amplifies such moments. Mark's defenders praised his authenticity in an era of scripted PR, while detractors saw it as entitlement. Jimmy's role as a comedian was scrutinized, with questions about where satire ends and bullying begins. The clash sparked podcasts episodes titled, "When Interviews Go Wrong," featuring industry veterans sharing war stories. Mark's film promotion saw a surge in interest, with trailers edited to highlight his tough persona aligning with the real-life drama. Jimmy's show experienced a ratings bump, but some advertisers paused, wary of controversy. Online, AI-generated deepfakes emerged, exaggerating the argument for laughs. The event influenced late-night formats, with hosts opting for safer topics in subsequent episodes. Mark's charitable work gained visibility, as he channeled the attention toward his foundation. Jimmy donated to a cause Mark supports, a quiet gesture of amends. Fan art flooded platforms, depicting Mark as a gladiator battling talk show dragons. The altercation's transcript was meme-ified, with lines like, "You think you're funny," becoming catchphrases. Media ethics panels discussed consent in interviews, advocating for clearer guidelines. Mark's family stood by him, with his wife posting supportive messages. Jimmy's wife, Molly, reportedly advised on handling the backlash. The incident even affected stock prices for related production companies, albeit minimally. International news picked it up, with translations dubbing the exchange for global audiences. Comedy clubs incorporated bits about it, testing audience reactions. Mark appeared on a sports podcast, downplaying the drama but affirming his stance. Jimmy's monologue evolved, incorporating self-deprecating humor about the walkout. The viral clip inspired Halloween costumes, with people dressing as Angry Mark or Shocked Jimmy. Educational YouTube channels used it to teach conflict resolution. The heated moment prompted reflections on masculinity, with Mark's response seen as assertive yet measured. Feminist critiques examined power dynamics in male-dominated spaces. The show's writers faced internal reviews, adjusting future scripts. Mark's co-stars rallied, sharing positive anecdotes to counter negativity. Jimmy invited similar guests with caution, ensuring pre-approvals. The eruption's longevity surprised many, still trending months later. It highlighted the internet's role in perpetuating stories, for better or worse. Ultimately, this altercation served as a mirror to entertainment's underbelly, revealing the human elements behind the spotlight and encouraging more empathetic interactions in the industry. In the wake of the explosive encounter between Mark Wahlberg and Jimmy Kimmel, personal reflections from those involved added layers to the narrative. Mark, in a rare interview post-incident, expressed no regrets, stating it was a stand for personal boundaries. Jimmy, during a stand-up set, poked fun at the ordeal, admitting adrenaline fueled his responses. Audience members recounted the palpable shift from laughter to silence as the argument intensified. Stage crew whispered about the chaos backstage, with Mark pacing angrily before leaving. The network's legal team reviewed footage for liabilities, finding none but advising caution. Social media influencers capitalized, creating reaction chains that garnered millions of views. Mark's fitness brand saw sales spikes, tying into his unbreakable image. Jimmy's book sales dipped slightly, but rebounded with controversy buzz. The clash inspired fan fiction, imagining alternate endings where they reconciled on stage. Late-night historians compared it to David Letterman's feuds, noting evolution in host-guest dynamics. Mark's spiritual advisor publicly supported him, emphasizing forgiveness. Jimmy's production company planned a special on memorable moments, including the clip. Online polls showed divided opinions, with 55% siding with Mark. The incident boosted tourism to the studio, with fans posing outside. Mark's upcoming roles were recast and public perception is more intense. Jimmy experimented with guest veto power on topics. The Altercation's audio was remixed into songs, going viral on SoundCloud. Parenting blogs discussed it as a teachable moment on respect. Mark donated interview proceeds to charity, turning negativity positive. Jimmy hosted a charity event, inviting Mark indirectly. The event's memes evolved, incorporating current events for relevance. Industry awards nodded to it subtly in categories. Mark's biography updates included the chapter, framing it as growth. Jimmy's therapy sessions, rumored, focused on boundary awareness. The heated exchange fostered unlikely alliances, with fans from both camps uniting against tabloid excess. Video essays analyzed rhetoric used, praising Mark's eloquence under pressure. The show's ratings stabilized, proving resilience. Mark's family vacation photos post-incident showed normalcy. Jimmy's holiday special avoided controversy. The Eruptions echo lingered, influencing script approvals across networks. It underscored vulnerability in fame, humanizing icons. In retrospect, the Altercation enriched discourse on media responsibility, paving way for more authentic engagements. Reflecting on the long-term implications of Mark Wahlberg's eruption on Jimmy Kimmel's show, it's evident the incident reshaped perceptions and practices in entertainment. Mark emerged stronger, with endorsement deals emphasizing his authenticity. Jimmy adapted his style, incorporating more guest input for balanced interviews. The clash became a benchmark for what not to do, taught in broadcasting schools. Fan communities formed, debating ethics endlessly. Mark's philanthropy expanded, leveraging the spotlight. Jimmy's philanthropy matched, fostering goodwill. The viral footage inspired documentaries on TV mishaps. Social algorithms pushed similar content, creating echo chambers. Mark's acting range was praised anew, drawing Oscar buzz. Jimmy's Emmy chances remained strong, with controversy as a double-edged sword. The Altercation's merchandise sold out, benefiting charities. Late-night viewership shifted, favoring edgier shows. Mark's memoir teased the story, boosting pre-orders. Jimmy's podcast delved into behind-scenes tales. The event united divided audiences in shared spectacle. Psychological studies cited it for stress responses. Mark's fitness app updates included motivation from the incident. Jimmy's writer's room diversified perspectives. The heated moment's legacy endured through anniversaries, with recaps trending. It highlighted resilience, turning a negative into positive growth. Ultimately, the Altercation proved that even in conflict, opportunities for understanding arise, enriching the tapestry of Hollywood lore.